I would like to keep my eyes. This bright ring, it is fucking up my eyes, and I need them. So, what a day. Today is, my phone is right there. So let's see, today's probably Sunday, wrong month. Okay, let's try this again. Today is wrong stale month. Try again. Today is November. What day is it? Let me think. Okay, take 2, 3, 4, or 5. Today is November, maybe 15th, 2021. It is approximately 2 something. You know what? Let me get something called time. We can be accurate about something. Today's Sunday, November 14th, and it's 2:06 a.m. I just finished watching CLifford, and it was such a cute movie. Okay, so let's get to the movie review. So I saw it. I was just like, I really want to see this movie. The sad part is I have to go to the movie theaters. I am not a big fan. Every time I go to the movie theaters, I am interrupted by someone. The last time, actually, though, she was just kicking. And she was grown. She was about 13 years old. I'm like, girl, can you control your legs? Like, are you okay? But anyway, I'm not a big fan of going to the movie theaters. People are loud. Motherfuckers are always on their phone. People are just loud. And I'm interrupted. I just want to enjoy my movie in peace, have my questions in my head, and be like, why the fuck did I come here again and not wait till it's available? Hopefully, if you're watching this, you've watched the childhood cartoon. You know the story of Clifford the Big Red Dog. This was just, I'm really not going to go through the timeline. I am just going to put the questions that arised while I watched this and why this was such a cute, meaningful movie. And I hope you got a lesson out of this. My biggest thing is making this, because it's not really a review. It's more like questions that came into my head. Why is it always like this? And can we get some motherfucking change? Because I'm tired. I am tired of seeing these I'm tired of these patterns in movies. It is now 7:17 and I'm getting to the motherfucking point. The reason why I say that is because 7s are my numbers. So first off, I was watching this movie and deep into this, and this is why the video even started. I was just like, why did I keep bringing up condensed milk? No, I was watching this movie in the wrong era. I thought this was happening in Europe and not in New York City till I keep seeing the little signs of New York, and I was like, oh. So I was just like, for some reason, it was like, I had the question, did condensed milk originate in Europe? And then when you do a quick Google search, it was like, no, it invented in France. I'm sorry, I have my notes, so I'm just going to keep looking. It was invented in France in, I think, 1804 by, man, I can't remember his name. His name is somewhere on here, but I'm not going to look too much. So that was the first question that arose. I was just like, what the fuck? But then I realized, depending on how you Google it, it will then give you, oh, here it is. It's Nicholas, it's Appert, a perk. I don't know, who invented condensed milk. Then they gave you Gail Borden Jr. in 1853, but technically he's the one that put it in a can called Eagles. So when you do who invented condensed milk, I don't know if they just want to associate to Eagles, which give us to Gail Borden Jr. in 1853. But then you get France, 1804. That's such a big ass difference. 1804 to 1853. And this is when I'm just like, you can have so much false information if you do not ask the right questions. Condensed milk just kept coming up in this movie, and I was just like, first, I know condensed milk is not an American thing. That is just point blank, period. For this movie, that's why I thought we were in Europe or somewhere else. I was like, condensed milk is not American. So that's what made me Google, where did it come from? So that was the first question. Then, the second question that started to arise while watching this movie was, why are Black people always the help? Why are Black people always the help? We always helping somebody. We are never having a good life in these movies unless it's produced by Black people. As soon as you start, this Black man is working hard as fuck trying to clean up some, what is he doing? I think he was fixing maintenance. He was a maintenance guy. As soon as you start, the black man is a maintenance guy. I'm like, can we do better? Can we have better roles? Why are we in maintenance? Why? Like, so we had a maintenance. Then the next time you see a black person, it was a female cop. Then the next, it was a female cop that the white man disrespected authority all together. He didn't give one fuck about her. First she was female, but then she was black. Not one fuck did this man give about this cop. Cool. Then the third time you see a black person was a doctor. But then there was a black couple that was talking to the maintenance. I don't even think they were full, but anyway, that was the point. So I'm just like, then the other thing that kind of like, again, why is this Asians? Why is it always the Asian that gotta be smart and rich? They're smart and rich. He was so cute. So it was like, and I'm not gonna give the rundown of the movie. Like, if you watched it, please, like, just watch Clifford the Big Red Dog. You know the story, go find out. But these are questions that, again, arose in my head. Why is it that the Asians are always rich and smart? Just smart and brilliant. Not even smart, he's brilliant. So what really got to me is, which I'm just going to give a little, why Clifford got so big is because of the bioengineering, all this gene editing that's currently happening in the market that's making its boom behind the doors. Behind closed doors, everybody. There's a lot of money and research into bioengineering right now. So Clifford showed if you're bioengineered, we all need to come together. If we're bioengineering things and we're factoring people, can we still come together as one and have world freedom? That's where they ended up in the end. They were in a New York park doing a World Freedom Festival. If you pay attention, that's another reason why I'm making this video. I hope you paid attention to the meaning behind the video. There is a World Freedom Festival that was happening in New York. Freedom. Freedom. World freedom. Not just some of you motherfuckers, just, us as a whole, just living freely. My book just keeps going. Okay, I'm gonna probably do my favorite parts. What else do I have in here? So, those are the main questions. Like, it's such a cute movie, but my main questions was, can black people do better? And why do we have to have the Asian stereotype? Like, yes, it's cute, but like, we didn't even know what the father did. We didn't even know what they do to have all that money. We never know. The maintenance guy that we were first introduced in the movie, his line while he was at the World Freedom Festival was, see what happens when you break the rules? Loved it. Okay. One of the spirits guys that was part of the movie told the 12-year-old, you have to speak. Yes, you're 12, but you have to speak. You have to speak your truth, and you have to speak it from your heart. This brought up so many times. Like, this whole week, I worked on my throat chakra. I was in my whole ER, which I'll eventually give a video on that. My whole ER experience was learning how to let go stories that are not mine with my throat chakra. And the way we literally, I think, healed it was together, so powerful. It was amazing. So that was another really good point that I just loved in that movie, was the 12-year-old, speak your truth. As black women, and I wish and I pray, and anybody that's watching this video, especially mothers, allow your children to speak. Allow your young black girls to speak. You are setting us up for failure. The more you shut us down at a very young age, by the time you get to, I didn't learn how to really start speaking and stand up for myself, maybe till like 25. I never gave a fuck and I always have a mouth. That is one thing about me. But to really, truly stand up for me and be like, bitch, you are not treating me this way. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. It took till like 25. Like, you're not going to disrespect me. Well, I wouldn't say 25 because I really was stand up to a lot of. Depends who you watch this, because I've always had a mouth, so same, because I have to think about it. I would say I always had a mouth. Like, depending on who watches this, I've always had a mouth. But in relationships, especially with other traumas that happen, I don't get a voice in those relationships. So those are where I had to still working on using my third chakra and be like, nah, bitch, like you ain't giving me this. Nope, we ain't doing it. So it's when you start showing us up, like, especially when we're young and we're asking why. Why? The purpose on being on earth is to ask why. Let me say this one more time. The purpose on earth is to ask why. That is the reason why I'm a scientist. I want to know why. That's the reason why I'm a Sagittarius. I am a seeker. I am forever seeking something. And that's why I'm curious. I am curious like a cat, calling you out. Sorry, we're young and we realize, like, wait, what you're saying don't make sense. Sorry, but at the end of the day, you're setting us up for failure. So when that man said that, I was just like, I hope you guys got it. Let them speak. Just let them talk. And yeah, so that really, and you letting people speak is your chakra, your third chakra. The people who are unique, that changes the world. We're born with gifts. We're all born with gifts. Now, they said lost souls. Some of you guys are sleeping souls. Some of you guys are. But let me say this again. The people who are unique, that change the world. You want to know why Elon Musk, however he says his name, Elon Musk is has some form of dyslexia. I mean, not dyslexia. Elon Musk has some form of autism. I was just like, what the autism? Everything is on a wavelength spectrum. Every single thing on this earth is on a spectrum. Let's just get that in the scientific world out there. Everything is on a spectrum. Every fucking thing. Elon Musk is part of an autism spectrum. He is called unique, and that is why he's changing the world. That is all. He is nothing special other than a human being with a special gift to bring to this earth that will forever change the earth. What is your purpose of life? Is to come, tap into your special gift, put it out to the world, change the world, and make an impact. That is the purpose of being on earth. Or you can watch the, what is that movie where the computer says 42? I can't remember. Oh, Hitchhiker. They were like, what is the meaning of the life? 42. If you do it, it's 6. There's different things. If you do 4 plus 2 is 6, and then try to look 6 up. And numerology. I like to put it in simple terms. So that was the other thing. Then another quote from the movie. If we can all love each other, we wouldn't feel alone and small. Now, I might mix up those words just a little, but let me just say it again. If we can all love each other, we wouldn't all feel alone and small. Let me just bring this back to me. There was a moment in my life where I think I was searching again for the purpose of life, the meaning of life. I lost my mother at a very young age. I lost my mother at, I believe, like age 8. I lost my mother at 8 years old. So for me, it was just like, what is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? There's so many people. There's so much suffering going on all over this world. One of the questions that you always ask as children and they don't want you to put in school, why did slavery happen? Why is there slaves? Like, why? Why? And it's one of them things where you literally just have to sit and ask God. Why? And it's such a baffling thing as a child to be like, we're only here to love. And that's when I learned I am not straight. I am queer as a bitch. So let's get back to the point. So, yes, if we can all love each other, we wouldn't. So yeah, back to me. I was just like, why? And then this is when I realized I was queer. This is when I realized I was queer. The whole reason is to love each other. It just came to me. It doesn't, because the one thing I always said, I want a gay best friend. I've always said this. I want a gay best friend. Now, my gay best friend gets on my motherfucking nerves. But when I told you the moment I saw him, it was like, for me, our souls like connected. It was just like, that is my friend. I know it. I love him. When I first met him, he got on my nerves because we worked together. He got on my nerves so bad, I quit in 2 weeks. He made my experience so bad. I didn't even give these people 2 weeks notice. I worked the job for 2 weeks, and then I told them I quit. I gotta go. I have school. I worked 2 other jobs. That time I was working 3 jobs in Towson Mall while going to school, and I still couldn't afford shit. I was working 3 jobs in Towson Mall while going to school, and I still could not afford shit. So, bringing that all full circle, this is gonna be a long video. Bring this all full circle. We were working together. He made closing a nightmare. I was just like, fuck this. I'm not working this hard for retail. That's really what happened. I was like, I am not working this hard 11 o'clock at night during Christmas time for little pay I quit. So, and then we met like 2 years later, still Towson Mall. Towson Mall, I don't say why I was square. I'm just ranting on everything that happens in my life. So yeah, the reason why I was square, it just came to me, we all need to love each other. Like I said, I was one of gay best friends, so that's how he came into my life. Then, and I just love the LGBTQ plus community since I came to America. Now, the reason why I love the LGBTQ plus community, I'm bringing back, let me just put my one little spin into slavery. It's that, why is it that we don't teach slavery that happened in the Caribbean? I literally grew up, this is why this is going to be a long rant. I grew up in the Caribbean. I was born and raised in the Caribbean. I was born and raised in a small island called Dominica. Not Dominica Republic, the Commonwealth of Dominica. I'll repeat it and I'll go slower. The Commonwealth of Dominica. That is where I was born. So, for me, we had to learn slavery. We had to learn about slavery. It's our history. It's how this color got there. It's how this color, when everybody's like, and that's the one, love to call out your color. They'll be like, well, I'm not as dark as you. Bitch, I'm black. What? I'm not as dark as, you're black. Are we not? And then it's when I take a photo, honestly, it's not till I take photos with other people where I'm like, oh, bitch, you're black. Like, you're just dark. Like, but what am I supposed to do? I was born close to an equator. I was roasting. While you were freezing, I was roasting. What do you want me to do? So back to this, right? So it's one of them things where it's like, why did all this happen? And it just came to me where it's just like, we're all here to love each other. It doesn't matter what you are. And that's when it came to me where I'm like, it is so sad. If you cannot stimulate my mind, I'm bored. I'm bored as hell. So that is when I realized I cannot put a cap on my love. I cannot stop whoever wants to love me. That is when I learned I cannot put a cap on my love. Like, if any motherfucker wants to love me, by all means, love me from a distance. I'm just gonna say this one more time. If any motherfucker wants to love me from a distance. You see this? It's called personal space. I have forever had my bubble. If you are anywhere like arm's length, this has always been me as a child. I have always had a shield around me because it's one of them things where it's like, please get out of my space. If I do not know you, if I cannot feel your energy or your vibe, if it's off, I release you. And that's another thing. I learned how to release a soul tie. I will say that in another video at some point, but I did learn how to release a soul tie, especially a soul sexual tie. If it's really that strong and you don't know how to break that bond, really seek why you were together. That is the main reason how to break the bond. Seek why were you guys together. To break that soul tie, it was for 7 years. These are just things I had on my mind all week. So I'm just going to make this video and call it a day because I'm awake. This book right here, I found this, The Disappearance of the Universe. It took me a while to get through because it kept repeating itself. it just kept repeating itself. At one point, I'm just like, are you going to tell me something meaningful? Like, it was nice. It was a beautiful book. But it got to a point where I was just like, I got the point. I get it. I really do. But I think the reason why it was, I get the point, I related to this book at the age of 10. This book is like, oh, this happens. I related, this book is a spirituality and self-improvement book. By age 10 or 11, I related to this book. The things that happened to here and the questions that arose and like things that, I was 10 and 11 when I was just like, okay, shit ain't real, but okay, let's just continue to pretend that shit's actually happening in this world. Everything. And his one other employee, right? His one other employee was just like, I will stay with you. He was devoted to this CEO. And I quote from the CEO, I don't care about you. I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard during that scene when I saw, first, that woman was like, I quit. 2, he realized he lost everything. 3, that CEO was just like, not that CEO. 3, that employee was just like, I will still be your ride or die. The CEO was like, fuck you, bitch. I don't care about you. Let that sink in to anybody that is still slaving to a motherfucking job. Let that just be sinking in. No, I'm not saying quit your job. Please. You got bills to pay. That's why. So yeah, that's what happened. Then another quote was, pure, simple love changes everything. Another quote from the movie that I loved was, pure, simple love changes everything. Like, if it wasn't for us tapping into our abilities to invent the internet, to invent apps, to invent Bumble and Tinder, which are bringing souls together, we have been separated so much and we do not know where. So that is why there's beautiful apps like that. That is why they're trying to make, if you watch, Netflix has a series, I can't remember what it's called, but Netflix has a series where it's an app that does blood matching, so you can find blood matching to find your one based on genes. Again, the whole premise of half these movies is us trying to do gene engineering, and all this shit is not gonna solve the problem. To solve the problem is to look within you, fix you so you can find your one. I literally thought I found a twin soul, but I got it confused. There's twin flame, but I did meet a soul that I needed to meet. That's the thing. I met a soul that I needed to meet at the time I needed to meet him, and that's about it. The last thing that I liked is at the end of the movie was magic is all around us if we know how to look. I am making this YouTube video basically to show you my wonderful experience. I have had a rough life. I am not going to be like I've had the roughest life ever. I really haven't. I've had a rough, blessed life. That is the way to put it. I have had a rough, blessed life. And I won't change, I would not change a thing, because I would not know if I would have the ability to make this. At some point, I think I would have gotten here. But to do this, no. That is the reason why we have technology, is to tap in, to talk to one another, to communicate, to share our experiences. Today, another reason why I'm really doing this is to share my experiences. I get this book right here that I'm able to show you guys. And when I first went, so I'm able to show you guys, one, I got it for free. It's $20 at Barnes & Noble. I know it's there. It's $20. You can most likely get it on. I'm not even trying. Don't. Go to the bookstore and get this. Get in a bookstore. Don't order it online. Go in, walk your two lazy asses up and get this. Okay? If you need to. If you need to. If this feels like something that tugs at your heart, sure. If not, don't. You're not ready. So, what I was getting to. This one I got for free in a free library that's located all around Maryland. It's Little Huts. I will also show a video. Hopefully, I don't know which order this comes in, but I do show a video of my experience looking at, like, going towards one. There wasn't anything interesting that, like, spoke to me. So I also want to bring this book that I'm currently reading. It's called Eastern Body, Western Mind. It's the psychology and the chakra system of path to self. This is currently what I'm reading. And right next to this book is this book in Barnes & Noble. Again, I got this for free because I walk and I get my gifts. I bought this one because it spoke to me. And this one, it was just, something just kept telling me, like, you need to go Barnes & Noble. You need to go Barnes & Noble. I think that's it. Like, one is just, why, again, can we get better roles? Can we as Black, like, can we just get better roles? Like, I am tired. I am literally coming on this camera to say, as a public service announcement, the more we call out that we are tired of seeing Black people with the same old boring storylines, like, we want to be, I want to see us in some good roles, and I don't want to see us in good roles where all we see is Black people. Like, no, like, I want to see some good roles and all I see is white people helping. Like, why can't I see that? Why can't I see Black people as the main character and just a whole bunch of white people helping? What is so wrong about switching up the narrative? Like, I'm bored. I'm bored. Let's see. I think that's it. I really believe that's it. Hitchhikers of the... Okay. So that's the movie I was trying to remember. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the whole thing was, what is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of the life? And they were like, 42. They just kept asking the computer. You keep asking things that you think that's more intelligent than yourself. That is the problem. You're trying to find the purpose and the meaning of life outwards, instead of looking within. It's hard. It is so hard to sit in your emotions. It is so hard to go through something, but if you sit down and you make a breakthrough, you see that light. I'm just giving you as my personal experience. When you make a breakthrough and you break the trauma that's probably happening within, you have to break the trauma. That is really what's happening. It's trauma that's holding us back and we're not speaking about. So unless you really break what happened to you, what is that significant event that just devastated your life, unless you shine light to that, you're not going to heal. You're just not going to heal.